Hello and welcome back to Reservation for Me. I am your host of the show, Claire Rogers. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, I know you hear that on every channel, but please, my channel is new, so I really would love if you did that for me. Also, please feel free to follow my personal account, which is at Claire Rogers. Here's the link. And also, please follow the channel's Instagram, which is Reservation for Me. On there, I post, really right now I'm just posting quotes, but please use that as a way to tag me and give me a shout out and send me pictures or show me pictures so that I can post them on my page of things you've tried by yourself, or any way these videos have inspired you or made you feel, even if it's negatively. Just let me know. I would love to just hear some sort of feedback. So you can use my personal channel or my personal page or the channel's page to reach out to me. So, as you can tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about seasonal depression. Well, conquering seasonal depression, or also known as SAD, seasonal affective disorder. What is that exactly? It is basically when your mood changes during certain times of the year, every year, usually when it gets darker outside and cold, especially if you're one of those people that love warm weather. I'm wearing my fall colors and I have my fall set up. If you like the way this looks, please check out my most previous video, which is where I built this whole thing and then later decorated. And I just talked about overcoming loneliness and finding cool ways to occupy your time throughout the day instead of sitting around feeling sad about yourself or sitting around waiting on someone to call or text. That video really is good for occupying your mind and your time. So please, please, please watch that video and let me know what you think. But jumping right back into it, I use the word conquering because it means to overtake, basically, and being in control of the situation. I wanted to start this video early, right when the fall season has just started. I'm all festive for it, just because let's go ahead and nip it in the bud before it even gets started. We haven't hit daylight savings time yet. It's still kind of warm, it's still daylight, so we have time to get ahead of the problem. So for me, I know and sometimes you don't really have to put a label on it, like, oh, I'm seasonally depressed or I'm SAD. Like, you don't have to put a label on it like that, but when your mood or your attitude or just your spirit really is affected by the change of weather. I know so I've experienced it two different ways. So my whole life I've always been sad when it starts getting colder and darker earlier, because I really just like the light, the sunlight, and just the warmth, and I just love being outside and just being able to throw on whatever you want and run outside, and you don't have to wear a jacket and all these things. I really like summer, I really like warmth, I love all of it. But now being in LA where it's sunny and warm all the time, I feel like I'm getting the reverse of that, where I do kind of miss fall and winter. I miss the leaves changing, and I miss the air. There's something about that crisp fall air changing and the breeze, like you do. I'm starting to get the reverse of that, and maybe not necessarily the seasonal part of it, but just missing the different seasons in general. So really, it doesn't take much to affect your mood, especially with the climate of everything that's going on in the world, everything that's always been going on in the world. It really doesn't take much for our moods to be affected. I mean, especially as a woman, like, we see men being moody, we see women being moody, we see all types of moods changing. So it's very common, and I think it's good to not be in denial of our changes that we have in our moods. So let's go ahead and conquer it. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I actually took notes this time. So the first thing I want to talk about is the first way to conquer, overcome, take control of seasonal depression would be each month make it an event and make it something you are excited about. So we really have 4 good months where we know for a fact that we can make it something. So for me, the first day of September, I started putting up fall stuff. Like, I have fall stuff all over my apartment. From September 1st till November 1st, it's all about fall, it's all about Halloween, it's all about spooky. I don't like decorating my house with like skulls and stuff like that, but just I start looking at costumes and Halloween ideas and just put up pumpkins everywhere and just make it as festive as possible. You have all of September and all of October to really focus on that. Get excited for these holidays. Get excited for chili and chili cookouts and s'mores and flannel and hay bales, and like that's just all I think of when I think of fall, and it makes me really excited because that's the only time of the year, where you can actually like embrace those things. I mean, yeah, I mean obviously you can do it all year round, but those are the two major months where it's all about fall and chili and hot cocoa and coffee and leaves and boots and sweater. Like, just embrace it. Start looking up boots and looking up scarves, but like just really make that your everyday. Like, just embrace the season that you are in. After that, so from November 2nd or November 1st up until so for me, I kind of skip over Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's included in the whole like fall, all of that. So from November 1st, that's when I'm already putting up my tree. So from November 1st till January 1st, that's 2 months right there. All of November, all of December. Enjoy Christmas. I mean, start putting up holly leaves, and there's red everywhere, and there's snow. Put fake snow in your house. Start buying Christmas gifts. Start reading your children stories of the origin of Santa, and start watching the stop motion films on ABC Family or Freeform, and download Christmas movies and movies that remind you of your childhood. You can do that every day from November till January. Just every day, make it all about Christmas. Just make it literally all about Christmas. Put all of your energy, instead of focusing on it being cold and sad and dark and damp, put all of your energy into Christmas. I mean, it's better to do that than the other. I mean, you know, even if you're not a Christmas person, make it all about winter. You don't have to celebrate Christmas. I know everyone has different religious preferences, but make it about winter. Put snowmen everywhere. Just really enjoy it, have fun, and just embrace all that there is for these holiday seasons. Now, I will say, January and February is really hard. That's when I feel like it hits the hardest, because the hype of fall is over, the hype of Christmas is over, and now you're just stuck with cold. And don't get me started on Valentine's Day. That is a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But I mean, if you do have a loved one, that is something to get excited about, but that's a very touchy subject. So January and February is where we use the tools that we were practicing as far as doing things on our own or doing things indoors in the house, like with the wine tasting that I just posted. Please check that out. There's so many things that you can do by yourself, or when you're cooped up in the house, or when it is dark outside, when it is cold outside. There's so many activities you can do and so many exercises that you can do to distract your mind from those negative things. Embrace that time you have alone. Make it a positive. Don't make it a negative. Like, buy a new blanket. Download as many movies as possible. I am going to start posting more and more videos of activities to do inside by yourself, places you can go by yourself. Well, really, you can go anywhere by yourself, but just ways to make it fun and more of an event rather than, I have to do this by myself. It should be more about wanting to do these things by yourself. So that's what my channel is for, so I hope I can give you some ideas, and just please keep watching and staying updated for things you can do when these times do get a little bit darker, like in January and February. I'm going to be constantly posting videos, especially during those months. I have a video coming up about things to do with your girlfriends, and then I have another video that I'll be talking about just having a fall party with yourself, a Halloween party by yourself, and just ways you can embrace October. This is the one time of year we can really just be spooky and watch these Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town, all these Disney Channel movies. I definitely recommend downloading Disney Plus, even if you just have it for a month. This is the month to do it. Twitches. Just, Halloween is amazing. Halloween 1 through 8. If you're into scary movies, watch Jason and Chucky and all these movies, but I will save that for another video. So the second thing that I have is, okay, so I kind of lump those two together. So it's make each month an event, and then start your holidays earlier. So there's nothing wrong with, like I was saying earlier, start your holidays earlier. Start celebrating Halloween in August if you want to. Start putting up fall stuff in August. That's acceptable. Start celebrating Christmas in October. If you're a Christmas girl, like, just go ahead and start lumping it over. Like, just constantly overlap the different holidays and the different fun things that you do, so there really isn't that gap of what the heck. So when when the holiday season's over, I will definitely be posting more big tips and tricks for you in the winter time, which I'm actually excited about because I have to get creative. Because what do you do in January? What is January? I don't know. There's nothing going on in January other than New Year's Eve, and that's really December 31st. So again, in those seasons where there's not much to do, there are so many small little activities you can do. And I personally have spent several holidays alone, and you can either make it really, really good or really, really bad. It is really up to you. I mean, my goal is to just having control of a situation. You can't control what happens. You can't control anything about life, but what you can control, the one thing you control as far as your own life, well, not the one thing, but the main thing you control as far as your own life is your reactions. What are you going to do with the information that's given? Hey Claire, I know you're going to be spending the holidays alone, and I know I had planned on coming up to visit, but it's just not a good time right now. How do you react to something like that? I mean, obviously you're going to be upset, so you can't control the fact that you get upset. But what you do after that is really key. You can be sad and wallow around and just be all in your feelings, but unless you just like the pain, why would you want that? So it's just all about finding things that you can do to avoid getting into a slump and spiraling downhill of depression just because you're going to be spending holidays alone, or because you're spending these seasons alone, or because these seasons are just happening, period. And like, even if you're not alone, these seasons can just be saddening if you are a person who likes light and who likes to be out and who likes to wear shorts and surfing at the beach and being on the beach, and like if your activities involve a lot of outdoor things and now you're stuck inside, it can affect your mood. So this isn't going to work. It's always going to be January. It's always going to be Christmas. It's always going to be dark outside. It's always going to be daylight savings time. It's all until they pass a law where that no longer happens or the climate completely changes. As of right now, these things have been happening my entire life. I don't know about your life, but there's always been a winter. No matter where you live, there's still a winter. There's always a Christmas. Like, it's always there. I've yet to really it not be there. I mean, I know this year a lot of things are going to be canceled, but that doesn't change action. A lot of things are canceled this year, like trick-or-treating, but it's still Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like, things can be canceled, but it's still the same process every single year. It gets dark at this time, it gets cold at this time. So what can we do to be ahead of the curve instead of falling into what it has to offer? How to make the best of it, because it's going to happen every year. So let's go ahead and be on top of the ball game about it. Don't sit around and be sad, or just don't do it, because I know it sounds easy. But you just can't, or else you will allow it to conquer you when you should be conquering the situation. It's your life. So make the best out. I mean, you really just have to make the best out of the life you have. The cards you were dealt, make the best out of it. Or if not, it will overtake you, and you'll be overtaken with negative feelings and negative energy. Take the cards you were dealt, look at your hand, and play it. Play it the best to your ability. Do the best that you can. Don't look at your cards and be like, I give up. This game isn't for me. You guys have fun over there. I'm sure you got it under control. Like, no, it's all about you. And another thing I want to talk about is the fourth thing, really, is start being more open with others about how you feel, because you might be surprised. Like, I've noticed when I reach out to people, like, man, I've just been feeling depressed. Like, I miss hanging out with you guys. You'll be surprised. Like, a lot of people aren't honest about how they feel about another person. Like, really reach out to your friends and be like, I miss you guys. Like, I miss hanging out with you guys. I've been cooped up in the house. You want to meet up? And I mean, if they're your real friends, should say yes, or FaceTime at least. And I mean, And this also will teach you, if you reach out to your friends or friends and you tell them, you literally are transparent, you come to them and you're like, hey, I'm not feeling my best, like I've been feeling kind of depressed, I miss like being around people, I miss you guys, I miss hanging out, like can we do something? And if their response isn't taking you seriously especially if you come out and say, using the word like I feel depressed, if they don't take that seriously, or they don't help you find a solution, or they don't agree to like meet up with you on some level, even if it's socially distanced at the park, at the beach, if they don't want to make you feel better in some capacity, is that really a friend that you even want to have? I mean, you should have friends that you can reach out to and be like, hey, I miss you guys, I feel, I would love to see you. That they should be like, yeah, I miss you too, like let's see you, like, I mean, that's the hope, friends, I hope we all have someday if we don't. So I think it's really good to reach out to your friends, and if they don't want to, don't feel bad. Find something to do on your own, and then just maybe reevaluate the type of friendships that you have, and you might be surprised when you start being more honest with yourself and others. You'll be actually surprised who will show up in your life for you when you start being more honest with others. I mean, whether it's just a conversation with a stranger on the street, I mean, don't just be talking with all types of strangers, but you just a nice person on the street, that can end up being your best friend. You just be more open and honest about how you're feeling or what's going on in your life. Don't try to put on a show or a front like, oh, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm okay. Like, don't, for what? All it's going to do is you're just going to go home and be sad and put on a whole front for the world for no reason. Be honest, because people are going through what you're going through, and your friends will be there to help you. And if not, hopefully your family. And if not that either, there's so many online groups and resources, and reach out to me. I will talk to you at least. Like, just reach out to me, reach out to people online. If you have those like Instagram friends that aren't your real friends, make them your real. They might be the ones that'll show up for you. There's so many, like, don't ignore the different connections that we have in life, and just, again, be open and be honest. And the last thing I want to talk about is, it's funny because every day I talk about reaches it. So basically this is the same thing, but reach out to people to hang out. Don't be afraid, like, I always say something first, or I always reach out first, or like, everyone nowadays have that mindset of like, I'm too cool to reach out first. Leave all of that at the door. I mean, I'm sure there's so many friend groups and stuff where it's not like that, but I've noticed a lot of people sometimes aren't comfortable with reaching out first, and a lot of friendships die that way just because they don't reach out. You be the person to reach out to your friends. They're not doing as much as they claim they're doing. They're not moving and shaking. Everyone can make time for anyone who they want to make time for, so please make the initiative to reach out to people. If you have a childhood friend you haven't seen in a while, reach out to that childhood friend, and y'all can have a nice day over coffee, over the phone, over FaceTime, at the park, distance, whatever, and just start laughing and talking about old times. Reach out to your friend you haven't talked to in like a couple weeks because you guys got so busy. Make the effort. That would really probably make their day. I know it would make mine if my friend was just like, hey, I miss you, let's go get coffee. If someone just said those three things, that would just make my day. So I'm just saying, dude, make that day for someone else. It's not always about, well, she didn't hit me up, they didn't hit me up first. It's not about that. Don't be sitting around waiting for gifts or positive words or positive people coming to your life. How can you expect people to draw you in when you're not doing the same thing for them? So be the person you wish you had in your life, or be the person you have in your life. Be that positive person in other people's lives. I mean, that's just the best thing to do. So this pretty much concludes my version of conquering seasonal depression. I know it's a bit all over the place, and I do not claim to be any sort of psychologist whatsoever. These are just Claire's tips of conquering these colder, darker periods that are coming upon us. I mean, they're gonna come whether we like it or not, so we might as well just go ahead and get on it. So these months are coming ahead of us. It's September, it's almost October. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch my last 2 videos and tell me what you think. Tell me what brought you here to my channel, just anything. I would love to hear it. I will be doing a video soon with my friends. I plan on doing another fall video for a fall party, like I said earlier. So just stay tuned, be patient, the videos are coming. Definitely trying to post a video a week. So just stay tuned, subscribe, keep checking my Instagram, keep checking this page, and there will be frequent videos coming up soon. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps at least one person who watched this video. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.